Good afternoon, everyone. Today we will go for the anatomy of a anal canal. I already explained in the different classes what is mean by canal. Canal means it is a one pipe-like structure, or it is a channel, or it is a groove. Okay, canal, it's help to transfer anything from one end to another end, or it is a passage from that anything will come from one end to another end. It may be water, it may be faces, it may be any other thing. Okay, you already seen anal canal. Okay, also you see pyloric canal or inguinal canal. Canals are nothing but these are the passage or pipe like structure or tube like structure, or these are the channels from anything or any material will pass from one end to another end, or it may be water, it may be faces, it may be food particles, it may be any other thing. Okay, anal canal. Now today we will go for the anatomy of a anal canal. Anal canal, it is a terminal segment of a large intestine. It is present between the rectum and anus, and it is located below the level of pelvic diaphragm. Okay, anal canal, it is a terminal segment or last segment of a GI tract, and it is present in between the rectum and anus. Okay, and it is present located below the pelvic diaphragm or pelvic brim or pelvic floor. Sorry, not a brim, it is for pelvic floor. Okay, and it is located within the anal triangle of the perineum. Okay, before to go for the anatomy of anal canal, we discuss briefly about the what is mean by the perineum. Okay, before going the study of anatomy of anal canal, we know the what is mean by perineum. Today we will go for the very briefly what is mean by perineum. Okay, during the anatomy of the lower limb, in that we study the what is the mean by perineum. In general, perineum is words from Greek. In Greek, perineum is say as a perineon. In Latin, perineum. Peri means near or around. Ein means to carry off by evacuation. Okay, or to discharge a defecation. Okay, and around the to discharge a defecation, that place is say as a perineum. Okay, in general, perineum means it is a area between the anus and genitals, or in between the area of two thighs or two lower limbs. Okay, and this is a region or area between the anus and genitals, extending from either the vaginal opening to the anus or to the scrotum to the anus. Okay, now we can go for the next slide. Okay, now we can study the what is mean by perineum. Perineum, it is nothing but a region between the this is a anus and genitals. Okay, it may be male or it may be female. Okay, genitals means it extending from the either from scrotum to the anal canal or to the anus, or in female vaginal opening to the anus. Okay, perineum means it is a peri means around, or in general peri means around. Okay, in means to carry from where, to carry off by evacuation, or to discharge defecation, or which is the place is present around the where the discharges occur of defecation, that area is as a perineum. Perineum is an anatomical region in the pelvis. It is located between the thigh and represents the most interior part of the pelvic outlet. Okay, the perineum separates from the pelvic cavity superiorly by the pelvic floor. Okay, and what are this region contains some structures that supports the urogenital and gastrointestinal system both. Okay, there is two types of discharges are there. One is by the gastrointestinal, another one is by the urogenital. Therefore, it plays an important role in functions as maturation, defecation, sexual intercourse, and childbirth. Okay, it has the both urogenital and gastrointestinal. Because of that, it has the what maturation function also, defecation function also, sexual intercourse also, and childbirth also. Okay, in general, perineum, it is a region or area between the anus and genitals. The perineum is separates from the pelvic cavity superiorly by the pelvic floor. There is in general in here, it is a region interval between the two thighs. Superficial boundaries, deep boundaries, and divided into two main anal and urogenital region. You can see here this is a anal and this is a urogenital organs. What you can say, diamond shaped structure. Okay, a trigon. Okay, you can say as a what? This is a perineum. Okay, and this is a one thigh and this is a another one thigh. Medial surfaces of the two thigh arrow, it is a space present between the two thighs, or it is a space present in between the anus to genital organ. Can go for the next slide. These are the boundaries of the perineum. Perineum has two types of boundaries. One is anatomical boundaries, another one is surface boundary. In anatomical boundaries, in that we can go for the describe the bony margins. In anatomical boundary, we can describe these are the bone. This is a pelvic bone, this is sacrum, and this is a coccyx. Okay, and I am saying in briefly. When you go for the anatomy of the lower limb, in that we can explain the everything. Anatomical boundaries means it contains the only bony margins, and surface margins, it is a surface anatomy. Okay, in that you got the some surfaces. Okay, or you can say as a what are the structures you can see surfacely. In that we can discuss. In bony margins, okay, anteriorly this is a pubic symphysis or pubic bone. There is pubic symphysis. Okay, anteriorly. Posteriorly, this is a tip of the coccyx, and this is a laterally. This is a laterally by the inferior pubic rami, and this is a ischial tuberosity. Okay, ischial tuberosity, and in posteriorly, these are what you can say. These are sacrotuberous ligaments. Okay, anteriorly pubic symphysis, posteriorly coccyx, laterally inferior pubic ramus, ischial tuberosity in anterior or urogenital triangle, and in what you can say anal triangle, in that laterally there is sacrotuberous ligaments. what you can see, these are white lines, these are nothing but this is a sacrum and this is a tuberosity, sacrotuberous ligament. Okay, and roof is mainly formed by the pelvic floor, and base you can say, or floor is formed by the skin and fascia. Okay, there is once again I will say there are two main ways in which the boundaries of perineum can be described or we can explain. The anatomical boundaries refers to as its exact bony margins, and surface borders describe the surface anatomy of the perineum. Okay, in anatomical boundary there is anteriorly pubic symphysis, posteriorly tip of the coccyx, laterally inferior pubic rami, and inferior ischial tuberosity, and roof by the pelvic floor, base or floor by the skin and fascia, and laterally by the sacrotuberous ligaments. Okay, now we can go for the surface. Okay, surface boundaries. In there, mons pubis in the female, base of the penis in the male. Okay, you can see anteriorly base of the penis, okay, in the male, and mons pubis in female. Okay, and laterally medial surface of the thigh. Okay, and posteriorly superior end of the, this is the superior end of the interogluteal cleft. You can see a cleft, this is gluteal, these are those buttock regions or gluteal regions, and that superior end of the intragluteal cleft. Okay, this is a surface margin or surface border of the perineum. Now we can go for the anatomy of the, this perineum is divided into mainly two triangles, one urogenital triangle and one is the can say as a defecation or gastrointestinal triangle. Okay, mainly this triangle is divided into mainly by the an imaginary line draw from the both the two tuberosities, ischial tuberosities. Then superior one, it is a urogenital triangle, and inferior one is gastrointestinal triangle. Superior one urogenital or genital triangle and anal triangle. If you draw the one imaginary line transversely between the two ischial tuberosities, then it makes the, it is diamond shaped perineum. It divided into two triangles, superior triangle and inferior triangle. Superior triangle is urogenital triangle and inferior triangle is anal triangle. The perineum is divided into two. The perineum is divided into two triangles by an imaginary line between the two ischial tuberosity. In the anatomical position, the urogenital triangle is oriented in the horizontal plane, whereas the anal triangle is tilted upwards at the transtubercular line, so that it faces more posteriorly. Because of that only, there is tilted upwards at the transtubercular. That's why at the 6 o'clock or posterior side there is more common for the anal fissure. Because of that, there is what happen, right angle and more force or pressure occurred at the 6 o'clock on the sphincters also like that. Because of that, there is tiltation, there is little bit more common fissures occur because of the 6 o'clock. Okay, we can go for the next slide. In that, okay, this is about the your, you can say as a pelvic floor. Okay, there are some muscles of the pelvic. Okay, This is a, you can say as a pubococcix. This is the pubic bone, it starts a pubic, and this is a coccyx. That's why I say as a pubococcix. This is the ilium bone and it is attached to the coccyx. That's a iliococcygeus. Okay, and this is the obturator. This is a piriformis and coccygeus. Okay, this is a sacrum. Okay, these are the some muscles of a pelvic floor. Okay, you can say in next slide we also discuss how the pelvic floor is formed. Okay, in this you can see as a, this is the anal canal. Okay, this is the anal canal. What you can say, this like structure, okay, floor like structure. Okay, this is what can say as a pelvic floor, and this is the outlet of a pelvic, and this is a pubic symphysis like towards this. Okay, this is a pubic symphysis, and like this is a coccygeus. Okay, and this is a outlet of a pelvic floor, and it is, or you can say as a pelvic diaphragm. And anal canal, what you can say, this is a anal canal. Okay, this is located within the anal triangle in the perineum, and it is present located below the level of the diaphragm, and diaphragm is, you can say as a pelvic floor. Okay, and this is mainly made by the, this is the external anal sphincter. Okay, this one. Okay, and this, what you can say, okay, this is the puboperineal muscle. Okay, this is a puboperineal muscle, and here you can see as a PB means it is a perineal body. PAM means pelvic, or sorry, puboanal muscle. This is puboanal muscle. PRM, it is a very important. Okay, puborectalis muscle. Okay, this is only forms the anal ring. Main major part of the anal ring is formed by the this muscle, PRM muscle. Okay, EAS. Okay, EAS means this is the external sphincter or anal sphincters. Okay, these are the some muscles of a pelvic floor. Okay, in this you can see as a, this is your anal canal, this is a coccyx, and this is a pubic symphysis. Puborectalis, it starts from the pubis. This is a rectum, it surrounds the rectum. That's why it is as a puborectalis. Pubic, this is a rectum, puborectalis, and this is what you can say, this is nothing but a floor of a pelvic floor, puborectalis, and this is a pubococcygeus. Okay, it starts pubic and that's the coccyx. This is a coccyx, this is a pubococcygeus, and this is the original iliococcygeus. It is present between the ilium and coccyx, iliococcygeus, and this is a coccygeus. Okay, these are the pelvic, you can also say as a, this is forms the what, pelvic diaphragm. And what you can say, this here anococcygeal body. Okay, this is what you can say, this is a, these are muscles, puborectalis, pubococcygeus, okay, iliococcygeus and coccygeus muscle. These muscles are form the pelvic diaphragm or pelvic floor. Okay, just below that pelvic diaphragm, what is the present, that is nothing but a anal canal. Okay, and this puborectalis is majorly helps in the formation of a anorectal ring. Anorectal ring, it is nothing but a junction in between the anal and rectum, and it is form the sphincter like function, and that is helped in the closing and opening of the anal canal. Then we can go for the what is meant by the perineal body. It is a very important body. Okay, or it is the central tendon of the perineum, is a pyramidal fibromuscular mass in the middle line of the perineum at the junction between the urogenital triangle and the anal triangle. This is your what you can see is a imaginary line between the two achial tuberosities, and this is a middle point or body. This is nothing but a central tendon or of perineum. It is by the pyramidal fibromuscular mass in the middle line of the perineum. You can see here this one white color. Okay, here the junction between the urogenital triangle and the anal triangle. It is found in both the males and female. This is point. It is as a perineal body. I am going very briefly, and you go for the anatomy of the lower limb. Then we can go for the these are structures. There is another one muscle is there, levator ani muscle. Okay, this levator ani muscle also we divide the what you can low pelvic and high pelvic. Okay, above the levator ani muscle you can say as a higher pelvic, and below that low pelvic. Okay, this is mainly from the pubococcygeus, puborectalis. Okay, this is a levator ani muscle. Okay, and just below that you can see as a anal canal, and above that this is a pelvic. This is a levator ani muscle. This levator ani muscle is formed by the puborectalis, pubococcygeus, okay, and ileococcygeus. Okay, pubococcygeus is further subdivided into puboprostaticus muscle, pubovaginalis in female, and puboprostaticus muscle in male, and puboanalis in both. And puborectalis, it maintains the perineal flexure at the anorectal junction to maintain the fecal incontinency. Ileococcygeus from the anococcygeal ligament. Can go for the next slide. This is the our levator ani muscle. Below this the low pelvic, above that higher pelvic. Okay, this is the pelvic diaphragm. Okay, supports the pelvic organs, and below the pelvic diaphragm this is a perianal located. Okay, this is a you can say as a diaphragm. Okay, levator ani muscle also. Below that this area, what you can say this area, this is the anal canal. Okay, this is the levator. Below that pelvic diaphragm is as a perineal area. Okay, peri means around, neal means of a I can say as a perineum or around the anal canal. Perineal means it is as a perineum, or it's around the evacuation of a or discharging part of the body. Okay, can go for the next slide. Now we can go for the anal canal. Okay, anal canal peculiarities. Okay, anal canal anterior wall is shorter. Okay, as compared to the posterior wall, the anterior wall is shorter because it is somewhat tilted. Posterior was tilted. Okay, in the perineum, and this anal canal is surrounded by sphincters, and these sphincters help in the tonicity of its close the anal canal, and it is opens only during the defecation. Okay, you can see here in this picture, this is the pelvic diaphragm or levator ani muscle. Below that this is all everything you can see as a anal canal. Okay, this is a perianal region. This is the external sphincter. This is the puborectalis and pubococcygeus muscle. This is the internal sphincter. Okay, and this is the our pelvic diaphragm or pelvic floor. Pelvic floor is mainly formed by the pubococcygeus, okay, puborectalis and ileococcygeus and coccygeus muscle. Now we can go for the anatomy of the anal canal. Anal canal is present between the anorectal junction to the outer opening of the anus. Okay, and it is normal 4 centimeter in length. Okay, it is from the anal canal continues as a rectum at anorectal junction to anus. It is 4 centimeter long, passes downwards and backwards. Wall is closed by levator ani muscle and anal sphincters. You can go for the next slide. Another one thing, the anal canal, it is present 2 to 3 centimeter in front of the coccyx and just below the tip of the coccyx. 2 to 3 centimeter just below the tip of the coccyx. You can go for the next slide. In that we know the dimensions of the anal canal. In general, it is 4 centimeter in length, or it is say as a 38 mm. Okay, 15, 15 and 8. Okay, anal canal extension and course of the course. This is a terminal part of the intestinal tract or GI or large intestine, and this is you can say as a pelvic diaphragm. Okay, just below the anal canal, and pelvic diaphragm or levator ani muscle or anorectal junction or AR junction, or where the anorectal ring, okay, or pivorectalis, longitudinal muscles and sphincters. Okay, these are from the anorectal ring. Okay, just below that starts the anal canal, and anal canal, this is the coccyx, just below the 2 to 3 centimeter in front and below the coccyx, tip of the coccyx, there is a anal canal, and it is begins at the anal and rectal junction. This is a anorectal junction, and it is downwards and becomes backwards. Because of backwards or because of the tilting of the perineum, there is a posterior wall is more length than the anterior wall, because it is first downwards and becomes backwards. Because of backward curvature, there is what happened, posterior wall of the anal canal is more than the anterior wall. Okay, the open at the anal orifice, it is 4 centimeter below and in front of tip of the coccyx. Okay, now go for the next slide. The anorectal ring. Okay, here you can see this is a anorectal ring. Anorectal ring, it mainly formed by the puborectalis muscle, longitudinal muscle, conjoint longitudinal muscle, deep external, these are the deep external sphincter, and this is the highest internal part of the sphincter. This forms the anorectal ring, and this anorectal ring denotes the junction of the anus and rectum. And you go for the digital examination, after inserting the digital, your index finger, you got the one groove. Okay, at the tip of the index finger, you got the groove. Okay, that groove or sudden, you can say as a groove or one slit like structure you can see. Okay, that denotes the what, or that is the ending of the anorectal ring or ending of the anal canal. Okay, anal canal is divided into mainly 15 mm, 15 mm and 8 mm. Okay, upper, middle and lower. And the anorectal ring, it is a very important thing that forms the what, it is a junction, denotes the junction of a anal and rectum, and is has the forms the closing of the rectum, anorectal ring. If anything injury to anorectal ring, it forms the fecal incontinence. Okay, the anorectal ring marks the junction between the rectum and anal canal, and it is mainly formed by the joining of the puborectalis muscle, longitudinal muscle, internal sphincter and higher external sphincter. Here you can see is the what, formation of the anorectal ring. You can see here, this is your this is denotes this is rectum and this is the anal canal. Okay, and it denotes the what? Anorectal sling of puborectalis. This is a puborectalis muscle, the deep part of the external sphincter. Here also you can got the longitudinal muscle of the what you can say the intestine. Then there is internal sphincter. These are all forms of the anal ring. Okay, this is the anal canal. Puborectalis is a major part of the anorectal ring. Okay, the anorectal ring, surgical important. Damage of this ring results in incontinence. It must be protected during the removal of fistulous tract and the removal of the piles. Okay, you can see here in this. Okay, this is here upper part surgical anal canal, and this is the anatomical anal canal. Surgical anal canal is from the anal verge to the anorectal ring. Okay, and anatomical anal canal is from anal verge to the your pectinate line. Okay, or where all the anal columns are joined from and forms the what? And here is epithelial cells, and here or columnar epithelial cells. Okay, here demarcation of the stratified epithelial cells, and this is has the two. This one is formed by the ectoderm, another one is formed by the mesoderm, and here it denotes the joining of the ectoderm and mesoderm by the perforation of that membrane, and forms the one line. That line is say as a white line. Okay, you can go for the next slide. You can explain everything. What is mean by the surgical anal canal and what is mean by the anatomical anal canal. Surgical anal canal, okay, it begins from the anorectal junction or from the anorectal ring. Okay, and terminates at the anal verge. Okay, you can see here this is a anorectal junction. Okay, or anorectal ring. Anorectal ring denotes the your anorectal junction. From here to here, it is say as a can say as a what? Surgical anal canal. Okay, a maximum in general the surgical anal canal is 4 cm in length. Okay, and anatomical anal canal is from anal verge to the pectinate line. Okay, and this is hardly it is 23 mm in length. Okay, in surgical canal, anal canal, why it is here surgical? Because here in the fistula or in any in pile surgeries or in hemorrhoidal surgeries or polypectomy, everything we do the surgery up to the anal surgical anal canal. It has the importance up to the 4 cm after the anorectal ring. Okay, we care the take of the anorectal ring. That's why it is as a anal surgical anal canal. Okay, the surgical anal canal, this is muscular junction between the rectum. You can see here, this is the index finger, and you insert the index finger. The tip of the index finger, there is have one groove or slit like structure that denotes the your anorectal junction, the tip. And what you see this one, okay, this is nothing but your puborectalis muscle, or you can anorectal ring. Okay, the muscular junction between the rectum and anal canal can be felt with the finger as a thickened ridge in the anorectal bundle or a ring. Now we can go for the surgical anal canal dimensions. It is surgical anal canal is measures 2 to 4 cm in length, and it is generally longer in men than in women. You can see here in this picture Okay, this is a anal verge. Okay, this is a anal verge. Okay, and this is a your stratified epithelial cells there, and here this is a columnar epithelial cells is there. Okay, and this is a pectinate line from anal verge to this and up to the anorectal junction. This is say as a your what surgical anal canal. And anatomical anal canal means from pectinate line or dentate line to the anal verge. The dentate line is formed by the joining of the anal columns. Okay, or can go for the next slide. Okay, then you can go for the anatomy of a or anatomical anal canal. The anatomical anal canal extend from the dentate line or pectinate line to the anal verge. Dentate line or pectinate line is formed by the joining of the anal columns or anal valves. You can go for the next slide. Okay, I already explained this picture. Okay, you can go for clearly go for that. Okay, what is the levator ani muscle, what is the anorectal ring, what is the pectinate line, internal sphincters, anal glands. Okay, surgical anal canal and anatomical anal canal. We can go for that. Okay, can go for next slide. Then interior of anal canal. What are the structures will come under interior canal? We can go for that. Okay, now first we can go for anal canal is 4 centimeter. It's divided into mainly 3 parts: upper part, middle part and lower part. Upper part is 15 mm in length, middle part is 15 mm and lower part is 8 mm. Okay, there is one line is there, that is white line or Hilton's white line. We can say that it is nothing but it denotes the joining of the endoderm and ectoderm. Okay, the whole intestine is made up by the endodermal layer and the ectodermal, the anal canal in that lower part is formed by the lower area formed by the ectodermal. Okay, the joining of these two lines, endodermal and ectodermal, there are perforation of occur and that perforate and forms the anal canal. Sometimes there is a anomaly is there in that perforated anal canal also there. Okay, there this Hilton lines denotes the joining of the ectodermal layer and endodermal layer. Okay, the whole part of the anal canal is divided into mainly 3 parts. This is the upper area. Upper area is mainly made by the, you can see as a columnar epithelial cells. Intermediate area, okay, it is area between the pectinate line to the white line. This is also 15 mm in length and it is stratified epithelial cells. The outer is a normal skin. Okay, lower area. Okay, you can go for the next slide. In that you can go for the dimensions. In this picture you can understand the what is the length. Endodermal upper part, this is a 15 mm in length. Middle, it is a pectinate, from pectinate line to the white line. Okay, this is a 15 mm. From white line to the anal verge, this is a 8 mm. Okay, the ectodermal lower part, it is totally 23 mm long and that part is say as a, you can say as a anatomical anal canal. And from the 38 mm of anal canal is say as a surgical anal canal. Okay, you can go for the next slide. And what you can say that these columns, okay, elongated long columns, these are say as anal columns, and the sinuses or gap or grooves between the two anal canals is there say as a anal sinuses, and these are joints by the valve. Okay, columns, that is say as a anal columns, and these anal columns joins each other and forms the one line. That line is say as a pectinate line. Okay, and the region between the upper and lower region, the middle region is say as a pectinate region or pectinal region. Okay, like this in this picture also you can see the upper it is a 15 mm, middle is 15 mm, lower is 8 mm. Okay, and these are the anal columns, these are the anal sinuses between the anal columns, and these are the anal sinuses from the anal valves, and these anal sinuses contains the anal glands or cryptoanal glands opening at the pectinate line or pectinate result. Okay, now we can go for the anatomy of a interior anal canal. In that, upper anal canal. Okay, this is 15 mm and it is made by the endodermal origin, lined by the semi-transparent mucous membrane, and here is present simple columnar cells, stratified columnar or squamous cells. This is a palm red due to the venous flexus. Okay, or piles, internal piles. What are the internal piles? We can say as a see here, and it is supplied by the superior rectal artery and drained by the superior rectal vein. Because of this blood supply, it is look like a palm red due to the it have the Cushing's. They have the Cushing's. Okay, because of that it is say as a palm red. Okay, in this picture you can easily see the you can understand what is there. Okay, this is your anal canal and this is the upper part. This upper part mainly contains the made up of the endodermal, and it has the columnar epithelial cells, and it is have the columns or mucosal folds. Okay, that mucosal folds is say as a anal columns, and in between the two mucosal folds, okay, of a mucous membrane, there is you see the recess, or you can see the sinuses. That is that say as a anal sinuses. Okay, that anal sinuses are contains the anal glands, and these anal sinuses or these columns are joined together by the anal valves. These are can say as a anal valves. Okay, and these anal valves join together and forms the pectinate line. Okay, and thus between the pectinate line to white line, it is say as a you can say as a pectinate region. Okay, and from white line to the anal verge, okay, it is say as a outer lower area. Okay, and here in the this is the upper area, and this part you can see as a, or this part you can see as a anorectal ring or anorectal junction. You can see here in this is the longitudinal muscle, circular muscle of anal canal, and this is a longitudinal muscle of a anal canal, and here it is see as a puborectalis muscle. Okay, these all three muscles, mainly puborectalis, this is a longitudinal muscle, and it is a inner circular muscle or internal sphincter, and deep external muscle, they form the anorectal ring. Okay, can go for the next slides. Okay, upper area or upper part, it contains the anal columns. On these columns also say as a columns of Morgani. Okay, the permanent longitudinal mucosal folds, these are the permanent mucosal plates. Reduplication of mucous membranes are there and contain the radicals of superior rectal veins. These columns contains, can see here in this picture, the columns are contains the superior radical, superior rectal veins. Because of that, this you can go for the next slide. Okay, upper part, it also has the anal valves. Okay, valves of valves, the crescentric mucosal folds, okay, that connects and forms the lower end of the anal columns. Okay, you can see as these are the anal columns, and these are covered by the anal wall. Mucosal folds are covered by the anal valves. These are the nothing but crescentic mucosal folds. Okay, the anal walls change together lower end of the anal column and forms the pectinate line. Okay, the importance of the pectinate line is the most important landmark both morphologically and surgically. This divides the anal canal into upper and lower area. Then during the development, it is forms the ectodermal and endodermal layers. Okay, arterial supply. Above it is supplied by the superior rectal artery, and below that by the middle and inferior rectal artery. Okay, and venous drainage by the superior rectal vein in below, so middle and lower inferior rectal vein. Lymphatic drainage also different, and nerve supplies they are different, because it is have the morphologically and surgically it has a different pectinate line. The pectinate line, okay, what is the line? Pectinate line is formed by the joining of the anal valves, okay, or anal columns, okay, and that forms a one line, that line is as a pectinate line. This is nothing but the mucous membrane, shows 6 to 10 vertical folds, is called as a anal columns, and lower end of the anal columns unite and forms the anal valves. Then in anal valves together forms the transverse line that runs all around the anal canal. This is say as a pectinate line. Okay, anal columns means these are nothing but folds of a mucosa. I already explained, and these folds of mucosa join together and forms the valves, and these valves are joins together and forms a one transverse line. That line is say as a pectinate line. Okay, in that you can see the what is the difference between the above pectinate line and below the pectinate line. The destination of lymphatic drainage by the above pectinate line by the internal iliac lymph nodes, and below pectinate line by the superficial inguinal lymph nodes. Epithelium, it is above pectinate line. This is mainly because of it is formed by the endodermal, okay, that's why it has contains the columnar epithelium cells, and as is most of the digestive tract, the line represents the end of the part of derived from the hindgut, and below the pectinate line by the stratified squamous epithelium, not non-keratinized, okay, until intense line, white line, where the anal verge becomes continuous with the perianal skin containing the keratinized epithelium. Embryological origin, this is by the endoderm, and this is by the ectodermal artery, superior rectal artery, and here middle and inferior rectal artery. Vein, superior rectal vein, middle and inferior rectal. Hemorrhagical classification, above pectinate line there says internal hemorrhoids. They are not painful because of the somatic nerve supply, and there is a below pectinate line there is a external hemorrhoids. They are painful because of they have the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve supply. Okay, and inferior hypogastric plexus, sympathetic by the L1, L2, and parasympathetic by the S2, S3, S4. There is inferior rectal nerve. And now we can go for upper part features. Then are anal sinuses. What is meant by the anal sinuses? In between the anal canals there is have the recesses, or you have the grooves, and that grooves are say as a anal sinuses. The recesses above the walls between the anal columns. The anal sinuses are furrows in the anal canal, and that separates the anal columns from one another. The anal sinuses end below in small valves like fold, termed as anal valves. Okay, and already said anal columns means nothing but these are the folds of the mucous membrane. In between these folds there are some groove is there, or recess is there, that is say as a anal sinuses. Then these anal sinuses closed by the ends with below a small valve, and that folds, or the valve like folds, termed as a anal valves. These are the nothing but anal valves. Okay, these are, and these anal valves join together and forms the pectinate line. This is are the folds of, you can say as a anal canal columns. Okay, these columns separates by the recess above valves between the anal columns. These recesses are say as a anal columns, and these anal columns ends or these anal sinuses are ends below in small valve like structure, that are say as anal valves. Okay, now you can go for, in this picture you can clearly understand what is meant by the anal columns and what is meant by the anal folds, sinuses, and what is meant by the anal folds. You can see as here, these are the mucous folds, column like structures. These are say as anal columns, and these anal, in between the two anal columns there is a groove or recess is there. This recess is say as anal sinuses, and these anal sinuses are end with the valve like structure. Okay, that valves are say as anal valves, and these anal sinuses have the glands. They are say as anal glands or cryptoanal glands. Okay, and these anal glands opens at the pectinate line. Okay, and these glands has the ducts. Okay, and these glands are mainly present in between the intrasphincteric region. Okay, this is about our upper part. Anal glands open in the floor of sinuses. If the infection of this glands forms the fistula, okay, and opens, and that I will show in next slide. I think is there. Okay, in this you can see in this picture. Okay, and these are the, you can see as these are the anal columns, these are the sinuses, and this is the gland, and this is the duct open into the anal sinuses. Okay, if any infection is there, closing of this duct is happen. Because of that there is infection happen, and because of the dilatation of this duct, and this duct is open into the another end. Okay, and that forms the fistula. Fistula means this is a unhealthy granulation tissue, or it is unhealthy tract connects between the two mucous membrane or two epithelial layers. Okay, there is a fistula means it is a unhealthy tract, granulation tract. Okay, that connects between the two epithelial layers, or in between the any two epithelial layer. Okay, the upper muscular part, it is has the anal glands open in floor of the sinuses. Infections of the anal glands form the fistula, and burst before that it forms the perineal abscess, and that burst into fistula. The glands themselves are located at varying depth in the anal valves. Anal papillae. Okay, these are some papillae are there. They are enlarged and form the anal papillae. Okay, they are nothing but a epithelial processes of the columnar epithelium, and then remnant of anal membrane. You can see here is a hypertrophied anal papillae. Okay, in this I will say as a what is meant by, already knows what are the anal columns. These are anal columns. You can see here in this picture clearly. Okay, these are the, in this picture you can see clearly that these are nothing but a folds of the mucous membrane. In between two folds there are the recess is there. Okay, this recess is say as a anal sinuses, and these recesses are end with the valve like structure. That valve is anal valves. Okay, and these recesses have the anal columns of glands. Okay, that is anal glands, and these valves get together and forms the one horizontal or transverse line, that is say as a dentate line or pectinate line. You can see in this picture also. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Intermediate area or pectinate area. This is the middle area. This is also 15 mm in length. It is made by the ectodermal origin. It no have the anal columns. Okay, it is bluish pink appearance because of a mucosa. Here it is contain the stratified squamous epithelium. Here is no sweat glands or sebaceous glands. Okay, you can see here in this is the 15 mm in length ectodermal origin. This is the middle part. This is also say as a pectinate region. This region is present between the pectinate line to the white line, or it is area present in between the pectinate line and white line. Okay, the intermediate area or area of pectinate is a color contrast between the bluish pink mucus above. Because of their blood supply, there is in bluish pink in color, and black skin below. Okay, that is the area between the skin and mucosal folds of the large intestine. Okay, that lies at lower end of internal anal sphincter. Okay, you can see here in this, here pectinate, pectinal region, it ends where. How you can decide pectinal line? The internal, this is the internal sphincter, it is ends at the ending of the lower end of the what intermediate area or area of pectinate. The lies at lower end of a internal anal sphincter. You can say this is the internal anal sphincter, this is the external anal sphincter, these are the internal, this is the ending of the internal anal sphincter. Okay, in short, you can see as a white lines of Hilton's, it denotes the joining of a ectodermal and endodermal during the embryonic phase. Okay, there is a hindgut, and there is a opening opened by the anal verge by the perforation. Okay, at the skin level, that joining of the two these layers forms the one line, that is as a white line or line of the Hilton's. Interior of the anal canal, you know the what is meant by the anal columns, anal valves, pectinate line, anal papillae, anal sinuses, and anal gland. Okay, now we can go for the lower area. That lower area is as a anal verge. This is a 8 mm in length. This is ectodermal origin. Here it is a true skin with pigmentation or with the keratinization. It is made by the your skin, external skin, and there is no mucous membrane here, corrugated due to the corrugation cutis ana. Course of hairs also present. It also has the sweat glands. Okay, muscles of a anal canal. There we can see as a anal canal, you can divide it into two parts, internal sphincter and external sphincter. Okay, there is one is denotation in this picture. You can clearly see that this is a internal sphincter. The end of the internal sphincter, it denotes the region of the pectinate region. Okay, here you can see as a pectinate region, it starts from the end of the internal sphincter. Okay, and these are the outer, these are the external sphincter. Okay, this is the intermediate or intrasphincteric region. Okay, internal sphincter, what is the difference between the internal sphincter and external sphincter? Internal sphincters are thickened lower circular muscles of rectum. Okay, these are the involuntary, and external sphincters are stratified muscle, and they are the voluntary, and they are mainly three types. Okay, this is a subcutaneous, means just below the skin, they are subcutaneous, and this is a superficial, and this is a deep. Okay, deep anal sphincter. You can see here in this picture this is a internal sphincter, this is a just below the skin, it is subcutaneous, this is a superficial, and this is a deep. This deep muscle or external anal sphincter, it helps in the formation of the anorectal ring. Okay, and this is what we can say as a levator ana muscle. Here this is a puborectalis ileococcygeus, and this is a longitudinal muscle of a smooth muscle of a rectum. Okay, this is forms the anorectal ring. External anal sphincter, you can say is a, in this also, this is a subcutaneous anal sphincter. Okay, and this is a superficial anal sphincter, and this is a deep anal sphincter. You can see here, this is a subcutaneous just below the skin, this is a superficial, and this is a deep. Here also in this picture you can see this is a subcutaneous, this is a internal, this is a superficial, and this is a deep. This is a internal sphincter, this is a longitudinal sphincter muscle and this is a circular muscle, and this is the levator ana, you can see as a iliococcygeus and pivorectalis muscle. In this also in this picture see subcutaneous, superficial, deep, internal sphincter. Can you say this is a longitudinal muscle, this is a circular muscle, and this is longitudinal muscle. Here you can see the pivorectalis and iliococcygeus. It is formed the levator ani muscle. Now blood supply of the anal canal. In this you can see here this is a pectinate line. Above the pectinate line by the superior rectal artery, okay, and lower by the inferior rectal artery. Inferior rectal artery, this is the inferior rectal artery. It is a branch of a pudendal artery. There is also middle rectal artery and inferior rectal artery, okay, and this is a superior rectal artery. This is a superior rectal artery. Anal canal has a Cushing's, okay, because of that there are mainly Cushing's present in 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Because of that the piles are present as a 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock, okay. Here you can see as a, okay, this is a superior part or upper part is drained by the superior rectal vein. This is one, this is also, and this is also, and these rectal vein drain into inferior mesenteric vein, inferior mesenteric vein drain into portal vein, and lower half is drained by the inferior rectal vein into the pudendal vein, and lymphatic drainage by upper half it drain into the pararectal nodes that drain into the inferior mesenteric nodes, and lower half is drained by the superior inguinal lymph nodes. This is about what venous drainage, lymphatic drainage. In this picture you can see as a, this is a upper part is drained by the superior rectal vein or portal tributaries, and lower is middle rectal vein and inferior rectal vein. These are the branches of a pudendal veins, okay. The upper half is drained by the superior rectal vein which continues as a inferior mesenteric vein. Inferior mesenteric vein drain into the portal vein. Because of the portal hypertension, the patient may be suffer from the, you can say as a piles or internal hemorrhoids, okay. The lower half is drained by the inferior rectal vein. This joins internal pudendal vein and from portal system of anastomosis. This is about whole blood supply of our anal canal. Nerve supply above pectinate line by the sympathetic and parasympathetic. Lower part the inferior rectal nerve also supplies external sphincter and sphincter of urethra, and irritation cause spasm of sphincters. Because of the somatic nerve supply there is a pain sensation in the external piles and fissures, and if the internal piles are there is no pain, or internal fissures or ulcers are there is no pain because of their nerve supply. Then relationship of a anal canal anteriorly by the perineal body in all male and female. In males there is membranous urethra and bulb of penis. In female there is lower end of the vagina. Posteriorly anococcygeal ligament and tip of the coccyx, laterally ichiorectal fossas, and all around the sphincter muscles tone which keeps all the close. You can see here this is in female, okay. This is anal canal. In this you can see as this is a anal canal, okay. This is anal canal and this is the lower part of the vagina you can got in the female, and there you can see as what you can say as one and here you can see as a fascia of denuvellers anteriorly, and the fascia of Waldes posteriorly. In the male, you can say as a bulb of this is a anal canal, this is a anal canal, this is a perianal body, and there is a bulb, superficial perineal pouch. Okay, this is not a superficial, this is a bulb of the, you can say as what spongiosum or penis, base of the penis. This is the difference between male and female. And here can bulb of the you can say bulb of the penis. This is a male urethra. Can go for the next slide. Okay, you can say here. This is a bulb of the penis and male urethra. This is the anal canal anteriorly. This is the vagina anteriorly. Here also on fascia came fascia of Deneuvelis. Here is a fascia of Waldes. Can go for the next slide. Species related to the anal canal and the rectum. Okay, there is some species are there. This is the say as a just below the skin. This is a you can say as a perianal, or this is a submucosal present in between the mucosa and in the internal sphincters. Okay, this is a space, it is say as a intrasphincteric between the external sphincter and internal sphincter. The space is there, you can say as a internal sphincterics, and these are the ichiorectal. In ichiorectal, from the external sphincters to the anal canal to the ichial fossa. Then if it is present any space, it is a supralevator. This is a levator muscle or levator of ani. This is formed by the puborectalis, pubococcygeus and iliococcygeus muscle, and this is from the what I can say as a supralevator. In that, there is mainly three main subcutaneous, intrasphincterics, okay, or deep postanal, supralevator and retrorectal. Okay, you can say supralevator is also say as a high anal, and what is the present here, this is say as a submucosal. Okay, you can see as some areas, you can see as this is a perianal, this is a submucosal, these are the submucosal, this is a intrasphincterics, this is a ichiorectal, this is a supralevator or pelvirectal. You can say also, you can say as a pelvirectal. Okay, and these are also say as a extrasphincteric space also. Okay, this is like that. This is the perianal, this is the you can say as a deep post-anal space, and this is a you can say as a supralevator, and this is a parasacral. Like that, there is a spaces of anal canal is there. Okay, this is here also, this is perianal, intrasphincterics, supralevator, ichiorectal, and here if it is present, this is a submucosal. In this picture you can see perianal, intrasphincterics, ichiorectal abscess, supralevator. These abscesses are mainly formed because of a infection of anal glands, and these cause into the what abscess fistulas. Spaces related to the anal canal and rectum. There are three spaces mainly. Perineal space contain external hemorrhoidal plexus, subcutaneous part of external sphincter and fat. Okay, these are the perineal faces. And fat is tightly arranged, thereby there is painful. Ichiorectal fossa. Ichiorectal fossa, it is present facially lined wedge shaped. You can say it is how it is look. This is a wedge shaped space on each side of the anal canal boundaries. This is a base. This is a base. This is a medial, and this is a lateral. Base is by skin of the peritoneum, medially levator ani muscle above and anal canal below. Okay, and laterally obturator internus muscle uncovered with the fascia, and contains mainly the fat, dense fat, pudendal nerve, internal pudendal vessels within the pudendal canal. Inferior rectal nerves vessels crossing the fossa to reach anal canal. Now ichiorectal fossa, the lateral side of anal canal, wedge shaped, apex, base and medial and lateral wall, helps in distension of rectum. Okay, common site of abscess and fistula. Medially by the anal canal or external sphincter and levator ani muscle. Base by the skin, laterally by the obturator muscle and everything. Okay, and apex there is joining of levator ani muscle and obturator muscle. The pelvirectal space. Pelvirectal space, you can say this is a pelvic, means this is a space between the pelvis and rectum. Okay, this space is present above the, this is a levator ani muscle. Okay, this is a levator ani muscle. This is pelvic, means this is a pelvis, and rectal means rectum. It is space present between the pelvis and rectum. That's why pelvirectal. Sperm, and it is present just above the levator ani muscle. First from this comes into the ichiorectal fossa. First from ichiorectal fossa can go up to the pelvirectal fossa, high anal fistula. They form the applied anatomy. In that, internal hemorrhoids. Internal hemorrhoids mainly present on the upper part of the anal canal. Okay, external hemorrhoids present in the middle part and lower part of the anal canal. Internal hemorrhoids are non-painful, external hemorrhoids are the painful because of the somatic nerve supply. Internal hemorrhoids, okay, they have the 3, 7, 11 o'clock position because they have the Cushing's. Cushing's means they are nothing but the anatomical folds of mucous membrane. Okay, membrane. The submucous contain varicose tributaries of superior rectal vein. These terminal branches of superior rectal artery. Okay, and these are first, second and third degree. They are mainly present at the, these Cushing's are nothing but the anal folds of mucous membrane. They contain the veins and the arteries, superior rectal vein and terminal branches of the superior rectal artery. Okay, that's why they are said as a primary hemorrhoids or internal hemorrhoids. External hemorrhoids, they are varicosity of tributaries of inferior rectal vein. They are covered by the mucous membrane of lower half of anal canal and skin. They are painful because inverted of the inferior rectal nerves. Fissure. Fissure is a longitudinal ulceration or cut of a, you can say as a of lower anal canal. In ulcer means there is a discontinuity of a mucous membrane. Okay, or ulcer. They say as a ulcer. The more common in posterior wall due to the lack of support of superior part of the external sphincter, and there is a the posterior wall is longer and the anterior wall is shorter because of more pressure at the posterior wall. Because of that, there is a anal fissure was happen. Anorectal abscesses, submucosal abscesses, perianal abscesses, ichiorectal abscesses and pelvirectal abscesses. Fistulas, there are intrasphincteric, extrasphincteric, transsphincteric and internasphincteric. Fistula means there is a nothing but a abnormal connection between the any two mucous membrane or epithelial layers or unhealthy epithelial tracts. Okay, that connects between the two layers or two mucous membranes or two epithelial layers. Fecal incontinence because of the injury of the anorectal ring. It also occurs because of a complete cutting of a external sphincters. Then carcinoma of anal canal, rectal polyps, perineal warts, fissure in ano with sentinel piles or sentinel tag, then anal polyp. This is about our anal canal. The anal canal anatomy is very complex. Okay, in our body is one of the complex anatomy of the anal canal.